Good evening. Welcome to Kingdom Lum Small Town Underground. Welcome this Wednesday evening, May the 22nd. It's good to be back. Good to have a laid back evening. We did quite quite a lot of live streams trying to get the message out to people about candidates that were willing to come on the show. Had a really good time. I know I just completely hogged all the airwaves, but in the process made a lot of good connections and met more and more people that are just fighting tooth and nail to change the status quo. So tonight I have Zack Brandenburg here with me, and hopefully we will have some people that are going to, we might even be able to get some calls in tonight. So if you want to participate in tonight's show, you can hit me up on Messenger. We can call you and get you on the show. Hopefully we may end up having some people that are going to be out with us. So I've got to finish setting this up. So Zack, you're my co-pilot tonight. So just kind of tell everybody what we're fixing to get started in.
Yeah, so first off, I'm used to having a lapel mic on me. No, but first off, we're just covering the results of the election last night. I know there was a lot of heartbreak. But there was also, besides the heartbreak, there was also a lot of There was a lot of stuff that we knew would happen.
Some hope, maybe?
Some hope, yeah, that's a good word. I couldn't really figure out exactly what to say. But yeah, I mean, I would say last night was a night of heartbreak and surprise, but also a night of hope. I mean,
yeah.
And then there's, several candidates who we knew were going to win. And so, I mean, it was, in a way, it was refreshing waking up this morning, but it was also, it's always just an adrenaline high the night of an election, especially when you know the people who are running and, but I mean, I went to bed last night, feeling encouraged. I went to bed last night, just ready for what's yet to come, man.
Kind of glad it's over.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's like a weight off. It's like this weight off my chest. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure some people are glad that it's over. I know how stressful it can be. I mean, I don't know exactly how stressful it is. I've never ran for anything like that in my life. But talking to some of the candidates, I know that it's a stressful situation. And people that went to thousands knocking on doors and sending out letters and all that stuff. And then you have all the shenanigans that come along with it, sign stealing, and then the groups that the concerned citizen groups that come out. So there's a lot of things that that go into all this. So here we are. The first thing I want to say, and please, we want all the comments, especially if we're going to cover our main counties, all surrounding counties tonight. But definitely, if you know of anybody that in your area that you were rooting for that won, or if it was some kind of contested election, please let us know. And I've just screwed up here because I accidentally clicked off my Chrome. Hopefully it'll bring it back up, but let's see if it works. No, I'll have to fix that. But anyway, like I said, we want to hear from you. We just want to hear. I know, I was rooting for Mike Pons out there. He was going up against Barry Loudermilk. I haven't got to talk to Mike yet, but I know that Mike wasn't able to pull it out, but he ran a great campaign. Some of the outsiders out of my area, we interviewed Baron Reinhold. I thought he was an amazing candidate for sheriff in Gwinnett County, and I know that he wasn't able to pull. I think you got around what did we say, 40?
It was close. It was in the 40s.
It was in the 40s.
It was in the high 40s.
So I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive for grassroots people that are coming out. And even though they may not have won, it's impressive to get those kinds of numbers.
Oh yeah, it is. I've seen several that we thought were going to be close in the 40s, 50s that ended up getting 30% of the vote. Mm-hmm. And
Absolutely.
And some of these folks have put in 10 times as much work as the others. And I'm. Then there was a couple incumbents who got smacked down, and I wouldn't say SmackDown's the right word, but there were a couple incumbents who were going to be unseated here soon. So
yeah, and I've got my phone handy here, so if anybody wants to hit me up on Messenger, we'll keep looking at it and see if anybody wants to come into the show this evening. So I'll just keep checking it periodically. We'll keep checking the comments. So I think what we'll do first, let me go ahead and get popped up here, because it was, like you said, it was bittersweet in some of it. Some of it was very surprising. And I'm going to go ahead and start pulling up the stats here.
Yeah, I've got some on my phone.
I guess we'll start with Walker County. So
yeah, I just gotta...
let's go ahead and hit some of this and see what. Now, this is our county.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can come up with here.
So, I mean, just for, I'm just going down the list here. Just for the congressional candidates, I mean, Marjorie ran uncontested on the Republican ticket. So, I mean, she's had 7,800 votes. And then the Democrats, had 4 people run. And so I believe they're going to go into a runoff, the Democrat congressional candidates, which I'm not going to vote. Obviously, Colton versus Angela, that, Colton, we knew he was going to carry that out.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Yeah, no surprise there. I mean, what's crazy to me, is, so Mike Cameron has an opponent on the Democrat ticket.
Okay.
A guy named John Zubluk, I think. I don't know who he is, but it's 600 votes. Mike had close to 4,500 votes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we know where that's going to. go.
Right. Pull these results up here a little bit where we can see them.
Yeah.
So this is the Walker County, Georgia. It took me a little while to find some of this stuff last night. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at as well. Yeah. I don't think that. Well, of course, Marjorie's the incumbent, but yeah, I mean,
she ain't not going anywhere anytime soon.
No. So Colton Moore, clear winner there on state senate. Let's see. Let's look at some of the ones. So the sheriff one, Don Stoltz, Steve Wilson, looks like 74%, and Walker to 25%. So
I didn't think it was gonna. There was gonna be a difference that high. I thought it was gonna be closer to 40-60, just based on the people I've talked to.
Yeah.
But,
a lot of people said this was gonna be a close race.
No.
I didn't really think it was going to be that close, but I do think that Don ran a pretty good campaign. Yeah, There's a lot of good advertising out there.
Yeah, Don did the work.
Had a good message.
Yeah,
but Steve Wilson, he's kind of a staple in the community, and people have ran against him in the past. And like I said, there's a lot of discussion that can be had there. But Steve's a good guy.
Yeah, and, I like Steve. I really like Don a lot too.
Yeah, I like both guys. I mean, it's not like. It feels a lot like you're not actually voting against somebody, but you're just voting for somebody,
Yeah.
So, like I said, Wilson, he pulled it out. He's going to be the sheriff. Let's look down here. So Carolyn Walker ran unopposed. I don't think there was a whole lot of. I think everybody pretty much knew Sims was going to, the incumbent was going to pull it out for coroner. Let's see here. Down here, commission chair.
Angie and Shannon. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't really. I figured. I heard that this is gonna be a close race.
Yeah, and it was.
And wow. I mean, that was like a little bit of shock to me. I was like, I didn't really expect it, but I like Shannon. I like Angie. So what can you say about that? That was Angie's got it. And the people voted.
People spoke,
so
man. I mean, I thought it was going to be, 45 to 55. I mean, they were still within about a 20-point deficit. Yeah.
So
I thought it was going to be within about 10 points. I knew it was going to be close.
Now, Angie, we've got a lot of good things going on. I think in the commissioners, there's been all kinds of things brought up, but I think ultimately, if we can continue to get the county debt free and then fix some of the issues that people are really concerned with, because it just kind of shows you that people are very concerned about stuff more than I'm aware of. And so Angie says she's going to have an open door policy. So I believe she will.
Yeah,
so,
I hope she sticks to her word with that. I mean,
sure. Now this one. Melvin Moody, Melvin Moody, I know Melvin pretty well. He's a member of the community. So that was another one. I figured that the race would be a lot closer than that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know Brian Hart, really. I met him one time, but I'd like to get him on the show, as we get closer to November so we can meet him. But that was another one that I thought would be a lot closer than that. So,
Brian's my commissioner, but he's good. He's good people.
Yeah, he's mine as well.
Anytime I've needed him, he's been able to, pick up the phone or text me back or Facebook message, whatever.
Right.
But I didn't think it was going to be that. I didn't think it was going to be like that, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, you just never can tell. I mean, the other one, this was the really, really close one right here for our county commissioner for.
100
votes. So
wow.
That was, we had Jamie Holsey in the studio. I watched the debate, or I was there to debate with him and Gene. Thought it was a good debate.
Yeah.
So that was a really, really close one right there. So, but I like Jamie Holsey, and I hope that he doesn't give up. He's good. Yeah. He's got a lot of good ideas, and I'm looking forward to sitting down with Gene since he's going to be the rep, and we can get to know him. So.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. We do have some new ones. Stacy Meeks. Stacy Meeks is going to be on the Board of Education. And then Dennis G. Willerson, he's going to be somebody new as well. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. And
Phyllis Hunter's already on the board, right?
Right. She's the incumbent.
That's what I thought. So, yeah, I see the eye now.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I don't think. Well, we had 2 retiring, I believe. So
yeah,
pretty much. They got the votes. So. Looking forward to seeing what Stacy Meeks is going to bring to the table on the education. So
yeah, totally.
Let us know in the comments if you agree, disagree. What do you think about that? That's basically Walker County, Georgia. So yeah, it was a little surprising, like I said, but I feel like that we had a good array of candidates. That it wasn't like somebody you were just opposing, like say up in. I like Catoosa County. Those are very different, and Walker County seemed to be a little bit different there.
Yeah, so. No, I feel like overall, I mean, the races here were a lot more. There wasn't as much tension. It was a lot more low key. I mean, being involved in the community and local politics. I mean, I've seen some stuff and I've heard some stuff, but nowhere near the level of Catoosa, and even with what's gone, the commissioner's race down in Chattooga and a couple of the races over in Whitfield as well.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's see. Let's move on to the next county here. So I don't think I have the link to the Chattooga County.
I've got it on my phone.
Election.
I've got it on my phone.
Let's see. If you send it to me through Messenger, I can pull it up. We'll go on and do. Let's see here. This is Catoosa County. Let's go ahead and bring up Catoosa County. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you Chattooga in the meantime.
Let's see here. Where's it at? Here we go.
Chattooga. I get them mixed up. One day I'm saying Catoosa is really Chattooga. Chattooga's really Catoosa.
So we're gonna bring this up. If I'm sure some of y'all have seen this, if some of y'all haven't, it's pretty much the unofficial. I don't know how they word this, but ClarityElections.com. So let's look, Marjorie again. So the U.S. House of Representatives is Democrat now. We don't care about the Democrats.
All right, I sent it to you.
Let's see. Okay, Colton Moore again pulls it out. Yeah. Not a surprise there. Steve Tarvin, the incumbent. Mitchell Horner, of course, he's the incumbent. Nobody running against him. I don't know why we didn't get Clayton Fuller on ours.
Isn't he deployed right now?
He is deployed, but I don't know why he was on here and not on the Walker County ones.
Yeah, I thought he was there.
Was he on there?
Yeah, I saw it. I think we just scrolled past it.
We may have that.
Yeah, I like Clay.
Okay, so here we go for the commissioner chair. In Catoosa County, looks like Larry Black pulled it out about 36. There's a lot of division here.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see. It looks like Stephen Henry. Nick Ware had some respectable numbers.
Yeah, he did.
He really did.
He did.
I really like Nick. I like his message. I like that he's not embroiled in any controversy or somebody that you feel like you would vote against. He's got a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, Nick's great.
I won't go into too much detail personally about how I feel about the other, the people running, but I guess that if I'm out of the county, I'm glad to see Larry Black got that.
I think they're going into a runoff.
So they will, and if I'm not mistaken, Georgia said 3 weeks for a runoff.
Yeah,
I think is what it's going to be. So
yeah,
that's going to be interesting. We're going to see some heat.
Totally
in that. So Let's see. Another one, I was going to try to interview Dennis Forrester, and we never got a chance to do it, but looks like Jeff Long, the incumbent, pulled it out. Jimmy Gray, really like Jimmy Gray and his messaging. Sad that he wasn't able to pull it out for District 3. But it looks like the incumbent, Vanita Hollander, she got it. So it looks like they went with the incumbents on all this stuff. So I guess Catoosa County is, for overall, happy where they're at with their commissioners. I don't know. So, but anyway, moving down along here, the party questions, I didn't really go into them, but most of them were all, when I looked at them, everything was streamed about the same. So
they were.
And I thought there were some really good questions on all of the ballots.
For the most part, me personally, I thought they were pretty well written.
Mm-hmm. I did too. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and pull this up real quick. Boom. And this is going to be for
Chattooga
County.
Somerville.
All right. Good deal. So let's pull this back up. And we'll get through all these, and then we'll have some discussion. So let's see. Marjorie yet again. Let's see. State Senate, Colton Moore yet again.
Yeah, it's been about Colton. I've noticed it's been about 65, 70%.
So Eddie Lumsden, incumbent, is going to be nobody running against him. Let's see. Clayton Fuller again. Gary Woods. Gary Woods was the incumbent. Nobody ran against. Ken Wendell James. Mark Schrader was the incumbent sheriff. Let's see. Tax commissioner, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go for the coroner. So Jeremy Big Mac McElhaney, and I believe I went to school with Jeremy. So
he's I like Jeremy.
I didn't even know that he was running or anything like that, and I got a request from him the other night. So I really liked Carrie Blackwell. She had a lot of experience in this field.
Didn't she used to be a coroner?
She did. She used to work in the coroners, Las Vegas, and everything.
Oh,
so,
I bet she's got some stories to tell.
So don't really have a dog in any of this fight. Jeremy Big Mac McElhaney pulled it out, a clear winner there. So
are they going to go into a runoff? Because I don't even think Jeremy's at 50%. So I imagine it'll be between he and Savannah.
Yeah. So that looks like it may be a runoff as well.
Yeah, Savannah's my age. Savannah's young.
I don't know Savannah. I've seen some signs for her.
I don't know her, but I met her when I was helping Chattooga GOP do some stuff, and ran into her a couple of times. She's young. She's my age.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We're moving along down here. So this was I was very surprised at the county commissioner. I don't, like I said, nothing personal here, but I really didn't like the smear campaign that I saw that was coming out of Chattooga County because I've got to know Blake Ellsbury quite a bit through
He's great.
All of this, and the amount of care and sincerity in his heart for Chattooga County really grabbed me. Like, I was like, this guy really cares about the community, and he's really trying hard to make things better. And it just seemed to me from outside that all that was coming from the other side was just nothing but smears and just dirty politics. There's a lot of sign stealing, a lot of things going on in the county that people are reporting. So. Like I said, this was a shock to me. I thought that the voters wanted Blake, and it looks like Andy Allen got the clear victory there. So
I thought it was going to be close with both of them either way. I mean, I don't live in Chattooga. I live up here in Walker, but I mean, I know Blake very well, and I've run into Andy a couple times, and
don't know him. I've never met him.
I've met him once or twice.
I hope that he and Blake will be able to sit down, the same as Angie and Shannon, and work
put their
together.
Differences aside and just work together.
Work together for the people. You know, Blake's already reached out and conceded and said, "Hey, I hope that you care about things as much as I do, because I can tell you right now, I think Blake truly, truly cares for Chattooga County." And
and there's a lot going on. I know, like, you drive through Somerville, you don't see much, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes down there to really just,
and they're growing big time.
Because I mean, it's growing. I mean, Rome is going north into Somerville. I mean, and and I really hope that they're able to, put their differences aside and really just work to, I don't know if work together is the right word to use, but just, I hope Andy listens to Blake and, there's a smooth transition of power there because, I really do. I want to see Andy be successful. I mean, I love this part of the state, and whoever the people elect. I mean, I genuinely want to see everybody be successful.
I do too. I think that's what it's all about. As far as we say a lot on this show, it's not business as usual anymore.
No, it's really not, man.
Regardless of who comes into office now, they're going to be burdened with the amount of people that are watching every move, that are watching everything that everybody's doing.
Yeah.
And making sure that we have accountability and transparency. So the old guard has got to go. It's got to be you're doing things for the community, for the people. No more backroom deals. No more of this stuff.
Right.
No more of this stuff that's like the Catoosa County, where you're kind of bought and paid for these candidates that are obviously getting funded by these lobbyists and these people that are behind the scenes trying to control everything, and
right.
we're trying to move the needle over to the people.
Yeah,
it's very simple.
That's how our Constitution was meant to be designed and executed.
And people can see it, and it's clear as day. They're not even hiding it anymore. We've got to get away from that. So
yeah, we do. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I agree 100% with you.
All right, so here let's move on to Whitfield County.
Oh boy.
So, hang on. Let me get this pulled up here so everybody can see it. Here we go.
All right.
Election results. There's Marge on top again. Let's see here.
Whitfield County's a lot of
Looks like Chuck Payne, incumbent. Steve, incumbent. Casey, incumbent. Jason Ridley, incumbent. It's a little surprising that we haven't got... Especially with the vote count, right? Like you think Whitfield County is a bigger county, and their votes were pretty down. Now that could not. I'm not saying they're not more than the last primary, but it seems awful low.
I need to sit down.
I
really need to sit down and just look at voter turnout history for some of these counties, because I mean it was very, just from the people who have contacted me, it's been very, very, very low this go around.
And I thought it was funny. I haven't heard anything out of Steve Tarvin in a long, long time. And then all of a sudden I saw a post saying, "Hey, get out and vote."
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work. I mean,
Steve's my rep, and I saw Steve. I mean, I've got his number, and anytime I've called him, he's answered. But I mean, I saw Steve at the Capitol a couple months ago, and we ended up having probably a 20-minute conversation, and he was just, he really expressed his gratitude toward me, and was very, was trying to make himself accessible. But I mean, I haven't, spoken to him since. I need to reach out to him and just see how he's doing.
Now, I have a feeling that some of these incumbent spots on the next election cycle are definitely going to be challenged.
Oh yeah, there's gonna 2 years from now. I mean, there's gonna be some stuff. What's interesting, Whitfield's that sheriff's race, 5 Republicans and
there it is. So this was the big one. Now I know I work with a lot of Whitfield County people, and Darren Pierce was definitely the favorite that I heard from the citizens that I spoke to.
Darren would be good to have on here.
It was nice to see. I mean, if you look at the Mr. Chitwood, who is a Democrat, and here's what I've been told about Chitwood. Everybody likes Chitwood and thinks he's a great guy and all this stuff, but the problem now in politics is that if you're running on a Democrat ticket, and you can like put your name next to the Democrat. Now you can say whatever you want about Republicans or what we're doing or what were our principles, but if you can still run in one of these counties as a Democrat, even though maybe you've been in here forever and you're just a great guy, and you haven't made the switch over at least, or at least shown that you're tired of the Democrat. I mean, I flat out wouldn't vote for anybody. I don't care who it was with a Democrat next to their name. That's just something I'm not going to do. The Democrat Party supports evil. Yeah. It supports crazy idiocracy, liberalist policies, socialist policies. Yep. And there's no way that I could stand for anything to do with the Democrat Party. I mean, they've taken no shame.
Nope.
And just accepting all of this burn it all down policy.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Mr. Chitwood, you may be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but the fact that you're running on the Democrat ticket,
I want to add something to
Sure.
that. Like a good friend of mine ran in Whitfield County and lost. We'll get to that here in a minute, but he's complained a lot about, people not willing to help, door knock, people not, finding time to help when they have had help. And, there's a lot going on. Like, I mean, a lot of us are working multiple jobs just because Joe Biden's messed the economy up so bad and we have no choice. And I get that. But if you're in Whitfield County and you are, I mean, this applies to anybody, but especially Whitfield. I mean, Whitfield's getting more and more and more and more purple by the minute.
Mm-hmm.
And, but and the quantitative data is there. But if you're in Whitfield County and you're conservative, I urge you, go out and help Darren win, because, I mean, Whitfield County, I mean, I give it like another election cycle, and the margins are going to be higher for a Democrat.
Agreed.
Than they are the Republicans. Put your differences aside. I don't care if you're being called a rhino, if you're being called a patriot, whatever the case may be. Get out and talk to Darren. Get out and help him win, because, I mean, the sheriff is, I believe is the only constitutional officer a county has.
It is. It's the highest law of the land.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the last elected position that.
Yeah,
and
I
of
don't
course,
know.
All it takes is just a full body Democrats to just make that not happen. I mean, they could kill us.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know Sheriff Chitwood. I've seen him, but I don't know him. But and I mean, people from what I've heard love him. But I mean, the Democratic Party, if you look, is a top down party. Republican Party is a bottom up party, and and I don't know him, and I hope it never gets to this point. But if it gets worse, I mean, he can easily let things slide under the table. So if you're a Republican in Whitfield County, whether you're in the GOP or not, whether you like the GOP or not, I don't care. Get off your butt and help get Darren elected, because, I mean, I lived in Dalton for several years. I do a lot of my business in Dalton, and it's getting blue and more blue by the minute. So, I mean, this is a call to action. This isn't Zack being nice. Get off your ass and help get Darren in office.
Well, I can't agree more. I talked to a lot of people, which I want to get into this after we got this, but I talked to a lot of people who just seem to write off the primary.
Yeah, and that's
like, it's nothing
okay.
big. We've got to wait. We got to work in November, and I'm like, this is where your voice matters the most, because these are the people this is the time where you can vote your conscience to who you want to represent you.
Right.
Because after the primary, you're kind of stuck with whoever.
Yeah,
it is.
you're kind of stuck, and vote your conscience. If you got 3 Republicans running for the same seat, but I mean this is your time to vote your conscience. You think Billy's better than Susie and Robbie, and let's say Susie wins the primary. You don't like Susie. And if you don't act up now and you're in the primary and vote, you're stuck with Susie for 2 or 4 more years, if more people took these primaries seriously and voted their conscience, I honestly, Roy, I do believe that, half these people in office right now, it doesn't matter where you're at, wouldn't be there.
Well, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Because I just can't understand, like, I'm not a proponent of early voting, and I understand what the word on the street is about early voting. Yeah. But there's no excuse.
No.
I had to take my dad, who's 81 years old.
Yeah, he's still
And when
kicking.
he calls and he's like, "Hey, I want to go vote," I'm like, "Okay, we'll go vote." And I voted early.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not ashamed of it. It's there. I don't like it.
Right.
But I'm going to help my dad out, and when I'm there, I'm going to vote.
Yeah.
Now, there's no excuse not to go out and vote right now. And, it's insane to me.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, there's pros and cons to early voting, just as there is day of voting. But and that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother show. Because I mean, I can preach for an hour, and I'm not here to we're not here to talk about that today.
Yes.
But and that's the thing is, I mean, people, we have one of the most accessible election systems in the state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got a whole 3 weeks of time to vote before the actual election day, even on Saturdays now. And I mean, some places I believe are doing it on Sundays.
Yeah. Well,
there's no absolute excuse why you can't take 5 minutes of your day to go vote.
Well, not only that, if I was king of the hill, if I was Mr. Dictator, I'd pile up every Dominion voting system in a big pile, and then I would blow them up, right? C4 them, and then I would make voting a national holiday.
It's how it needs to be.
It needed to be a primary holiday, and then a voting holiday, and then you can take off work. And instead of paying money out to Ukraine and Israel and all these places, I would use it for the people to go vote.
Right.
But I can't do that.
Right. What they need to do, this is just me talking, I'm on board with you, Roy, is voting needs to be a federal holiday.
It should be.
And if you've got a job where you have to work, even if it's a 9 to 5, like I work a 9 to 5.
Yeah, but they cannot stop you from voting.
But they cannot stop you.
They can let you leave work to go vote.
If you come in and if you take a longer lunch break, you come in a little later, you leave a little early. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're working a 9 to 5, if you're working at the MAPCO down the street or at a hospital, whatever, that it should be a national holiday where you have companies have a choice to stay open or not, and they cannot penalize you for voting because that's a natural God-given right we have here in America.
Sure.
I
also get the frustration. I get the frustration of all the election integrity issues that are clear as day now. They're substantiated. But to me, after because I felt that pain where it's like, why should I go vote?
Right.
Why should I even get involved? It's a rigged, blah, yada, yada. The more you realize that you yourself can overpower these algorithms and you yourself can make that difference by casting that vote, the more you realize it's worth it to fight in the system, to fight against the system. That's the only way you overpower it, 1,000,000 to 1.
Right. Right.
And a lot of people don't know what we know, and they don't know. They don't research it, and they're just like, I'm done with it.
Yeah, and Georgia. I saw the stat. I've heard it several times, but Georgia has 159 counties. 145 of those counties are not considered metro. I mean, the 14, I think it's the 14 other counties are like Atlanta. The counties that make up in and around Atlanta, Savannah, Macon, Columbus, Augusta, that are more suburban or metro. But anyway, if every county in Georgia in that 149 rural, suburban, however they had it categorized in the paper, those 145 counties increase their voting participation number by 2%. Anything Atlanta ever does, it's going to be
right.
Yeah,
you're going to overpower.
It's going to overpower it, and that's if and 2%. So theoretically, you've got 100. This is just theoretical. You got 100,000 people in a county. 40,000 of them are registered to vote. 1% of 40,000, I believe, is 400. So if 800 more people voted out of a group of 40,000 people voted, it would, times 145. That would that would shake things up massively, and we wouldn't, and it would even just, we can go on a whole other episode about that.
Right. And Georgia Patriot, we have not talked about the judges yet. We're going to get through and then we're going to go to that. So good question. Appreciate you. Also, just to reiterate what Zack's saying, so for example, our own county is right at 69, almost 70,000 people. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we had about 10,000 turnout. Most of your high votes were the 7,000, 8,000 range. Yeah. So if you're looking at that on the Republican side, then you give the Democrat side a couple thousand. You're about a 10,000 voter participation, and now that's really it's what 10%, 1/7 of the county. Now, of course, you've got to take away people that can't vote or the children or younger people, but still, if you just double that to 20%, could you imagine? Could you imagine what kind of change that you could make?
Absolutely. And, I mean. Even young people alone. I mean, anybody under the age of 35, 40, even if they just did that alone, man, they would 100%. Shake the world 100%.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah. So, and by the way, in the comments, if you've got anybody you want to talk about specifically, bring it up. We're gonna talk about them. So we're gonna move on through all of our stats, and then we're gonna have a little bit of open discussion. So Whitfield County, we just talked about Darren Pierce. He's a clear winner. I'm gonna have him on the show. Haven't done it yet, but I'm definitely gonna get him on. so that we can support Darren Pierce and bring about some good change
Yeah,
in
y'all
the
in
county.
Whitfield County need him bad.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. So here's coroner Clyde McDaniel, clear winner, 70% to Colt Helton. I read an article that said Colt spent $40,000
I worked on that campaign
on this coroner race. That's wow. That's a lot of money to spend on a coroner's
I
race.
started that campaign and left about halfway
Gotcha.
through, but yeah, he spent a lot of money on that.
I know this was highly contested in Whitfield County. I don't think we want to go into details or I don't, I only want to stick with the facts. So there it is, as clear as day. Colt Helton, 29%. Clyde McDaniel, 70%. Clear winner there. So, you do your own research into these things. Looks like, let's see, the incumbent for County Commission Chair, Jevin Jensen, clear winner. And then again, there's another incumbent, Robbie Slayton, won. So basically, it was another pretty much an incumbent race in Whitfield County. I guarantee you the next one won't be. So this is my 2 cents. It probably won't be. But let's see here. What have I done? Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So we've covered, I think...
We got Walker, Whitfield, Catoosa, Chattooga.
Okay.
I mean, Dade
County.
Night,
So
there wasn't much coming out for Dade. I don't really know what's going on over there.
See, Dade County was a tough one. I'm sorry, my folks in Dade County. I'll do Floyd County. That was the one I missed.
That was interesting,
but, the Dade County, man, I couldn't hardly find anything. There was basically just a Facebook post that was showing, I think, Board of Education, a few others, and I tried for like 20 minutes to find information. But, I mean, obviously, Colton Moore won that, and but yeah, I couldn't really find that. So I'm sorry, Dade County peeps. We gotta get some better information out there. So let's do Floyd County.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the comments. So let's see. Marjorie pulls it out again. And I like some of these numbers are respectable when you look at this versus Walker County, because we had some of the same amount of votes in Walker County, and these are bigger counties.
Yeah, Floyd and Whitfield are both over 80. So
Huffstetler, the incumbent, has won there, of course. Yet again, no surprise, Colton Moore has pulled it out, 74%.
Colton's got the little notch of Floyd. If you look at Floyd's got the little notch, Colton's got that notch.
Yeah.
Huffstetler's got the rest.
And of course, we love Colton Moore and what he's doing. I know the word is that your senator can't do anything. He's locked because he's been kicked out. He's doing far more things in many different ways.
I went over to his family's estate last night for his election party, and we, and I talked to Colton. I talked to Colton regularly, but I talked to him more just as a friend, man to man. And there are so many things he wants to do.
Smart.
He's smart, and
he sent me this last night. So
I have one
we
of those.
Appreciate it, Colton Moore, the Rhino Wrangler. And hey, if you got a problem with the word rhino, maybe you need to do some self-reflection. So that's all I'm gonna say
Colton,
about that.
I mean, he's trying to make it. He's making himself successful. I mean, not as successful. I mean, successful, but also accessible. So I mean, just talk to him. He's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So. Here again, Eddie Lumsden, he pulled it out in there. Of course, Matt Barton. Let's go down. Katie Dempsey. Katie Dempsey pulled it out again. I definitely think next time that we'll have there'll be some different stuff coming up. So.
What got me with the Clerk of Superior Court in Rome, Barbara Pinson and Mary Thornton, but I thought it was going to be the other way around.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. This is one of the different ones. Clerk of Superior Court, Mary Thornton, actually upsetting the incumbent here. So there's one that happened. I know the sheriff, Robbie Whitfield. We were trying to get Robbie on the show. I don't know Robbie. From what I hear, he ran a good campaign.
Yeah, he did. I did some sign waving for him.
But it looks like Dave Roberson. I've not met Dave Roberson either, but he was a clear winner of this race. So. I'd like to get Dave Roberson on the show. We can do like a sheriff show with those that want to participate. So He's the incumbent. I don't know him, but I've heard things, about both of them. So, but Robbie, what I hear, he ran a pretty good campaign. So, let's see, all of the tax commissioners, the coroner, all incumbents. Looks like they had a post too that wasn't contested, so Mike Burns got it. Let's see, and then all the questions, as you can see, as we're going down, are about the same. About the same across the board.
I want to see what the Democrats' questions are. I'm gonna look that up.
That would be a good idea. I'd like to see them.
Yeah, and if I find it, I'll send it to you, Roy.
I'm gonna tell you there were some of the best questions I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, legit
on a ticket. I mean, they were pretty well thought out and thorough, and they covered a lot how we're looking and feeling down here. So this is some clear message that all of our representatives need to pay very close attention to these questions if you want to know how the people are thinking and feeling,
You're right.
So, okay, so let's go ahead into comments because I do want to get to the judges.
Judges,
next, so.
Yeah, I got them.
So here we go, Sharon Holland. Thank you so much for being here again this evening. Great to see you. Georgia Patriot says Jeff Davis with the SmackDown victory. So he was running for Court of Appeals, right?
Yeah, I think, he was.
So, yes, we got Jeff Davis. I tried to find his results. I couldn't find all the judges' results.
Yeah, no, they were kind of hit or miss.
Let's see here. Jeff Davis. Trying to see if I can find Jeff Davis for Court of Appeals. So, I'd like to get Jeff on the show.
He lives in Rossville.
Yes, he's local, and this is he's been voted in for the Court of Appeals, so we're planning to get him on the show. We tried already a couple of times, but he was in court on a couple of issues, and we weren't able to schedule it with my schedule. So I look forward because a lot of times as we get involved in this, I think we kind of skip over the Board of Education.
Yeah.
We skip over the judges.
Yeah.
We skip over all of these little other jobs like Court of Appeals. And where does like the World Economic Forum and George Soros money and all this stuff, this is where they hit us.
Yeah.
They hit us in the court system.
Yes.
And they're making a kangaroo court out of everything that we're doing.
And if you look at like historically at like Cobb County flipped within the last 15 years or so.
Exactly.
I mean, they're starting in the school board. I mean, you get somebody in the school board because school boards often get so overlooked. You get somebody, they start in the school board, and then the next person runs. They get their buddy in there, and then they get a little bit of notoriety. Then they'll run for a commissioner. And,
absolutely.
If you look, you're getting some Democrats in a school board in a Republican area. That's like your first sign, y'all wake up,
Exactly.
Because it starts, school board's the easiest place to start flipping stuff.
Yeah,
and I know.
And also, school board, they set their own money.
Yeah, they have
Nobody
taxing
can control
authority.
that.
Nope.
And we're finding out now as we get involved that our taxes are not just rising because of commissioners, and millage rates is rising because of the school board.
Yeah.
And that is something we need
My
to look
mortgage
into.
went up about $300 a month because of school taxes, which, I support the schools 100%. I was almost a teacher.
Yes.
There's a lot of good things that come out of the schools, but there's also a lot of bad things that come out of the school, and I'm asking questions like, where's this money going to? And I know a school board member in another county where I lived prior to moving to Walker County was about an hour up the road in Bartow, but I know one of those school board members, and we worked hard to get them in. They're good fiscal conservatives. They're trying not to take all of this SPLOST money to build a school and these bonds and stuff, but they've got the budget balance. They're starting to do things right, but then the inflation shot through the roof, and everything that they were saving to build more schools, they're eating, and now they're at a point because Bartow County's grown so quickly, they're like, we need to build more schools, but we don't have the money there, so they're in a pickle. But that's what we started. We started there with because we've got a lot of old school Democrats out of their school board, and there's a lot of nepotism and. We've got some good, solid Republicans in there who are fiscally conservative, but also, no BS when it comes to these kids and these child's well-being.
Well, sure.
And now they're in a pickle because the economy is so screwed up, but that's a whole nother topic. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But
think about it this way, Zach. So SEL, all right. If you don't know what SEL is, look it up. These DEI. The DEI curriculum.
Yeah.
This what's the other one? The I don't know.
I don't know. There's
but
social
anyway,
emotional learning and DEI.
There's so much there to unpack, but and here we are as we're finding out the school boards are not going to be able to do things anymore without the people seeing it. Yeah. Everything is going to be questioned now. All the way that they do their contracts, the way that they spend their money. There's going to be accountability. So we're going to. This is an area that's not going to be overlooked any further, right? And it's just like anything else. Accountability, transparency. We're going to stop spending all this money. We're going to really focus on what's good for the children and not good for the lining the pockets of the individuals. And we're coming. We got eyes on everything.
And, and you've got to treat your teachers well as well. I mean, because there's there are a lot of good, solid educators still out there, but they're being overrun and they're being overpowered, and they're leaving. They're leaving. They're
It is. It's true.
It's pathetic. I mean, I used to be a general manager of a McDonald's when I was in college. I made more than as a general manager of McDonald's than a teacher who's been teaching for 15 years, and it's.
And
these teachers are underpaid and they're not being treated right.
And I don't want people to think I'm proud of my county and my schools. I'm a lifelong student of this school.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've had people work in the school system. Both my kids were in public schools in here, and I've met some of the best people, some of the best teachers, some of the best administration staff. So it's not like I don't want anybody to think I'm throwing anybody under the bus.
No, not at all.
I'm simply saying that everything from this moment on, from this year on, from the last 2 years on, is going to be looked at and watched and questioned. That's it. You cannot do business as usual without the people being involved. That's all there is to it. So
and believe it or not, I mean, these commissioners, these school board members. I'm just talking about those two groups because that's I know especially in Walker County, they're giving people giving the school board hell. People are giving the board of commissioners hell. Show up. They want you there. They want to hear from you.
Yes.
Show up. Even if you
don't show up when it's just a problem.
Right. No. Show. I mean, if they do something well, say, commissioner, school board member, good job.
Exactly.
If they're getting discouraged, say, encourage them. I mean, they're human beings like the rest of us. Show them that humility. They're there to show up, but also if they drop the ball on something, we've put them in place. We need to tell them. And we have the reason to hold them accountable, and we have the reason to ask them why aren't you performing?
Yeah, if you're constantly attacking them, they're always going to be in defense mode.
Exactly,
right? And
exactly.
Why are we attacking some of these people? Okay, when the status quo has been, you can do whatever you want for so long.
Right.
Now that the eyes are open, now that we understand, everybody understands accountability. Right. Now that everybody understands that you cannot do the things the way you used to.
Right.
Then let's start over right now. This is where it stops.
Right. And, have that conversation. I mean, we're not going to get anywhere without a conversation. So,
agreed.
Yeah.
Moving on. Georgia Patriot says, I agree. I'm glad it's over, too. I'm freaking exhausted. He's talking about the primary. I think we're all kind of glad. Even the ones that ran campaigns and didn't make it through, I think everybody can take a breath of fresh air. So
somebody called me today and apologized. We're sorry we got snappy with you. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I promise.
All right. Georgia Pager says voting access is easy. Anybody who can't isn't trying.
Bingo.
I agree.
Bingo.
I agree. And like I said, I do not like early voting, no matter what anybody says. But it's there, and we're already like circling the bowl, man. You might as well just throw it in and vote. So. Georgia Patriot says, I had to take a call. Oh, I missed about 10 minutes as you guys talk about the judges' races yet.
We're getting there.
So, yes, we had huge wins yesterday on the statewide judges' races. So, Georgia Patriot says, I talked to people at state convention that said they were getting less than 3% of their county
Get that
voting.
up. Get that 3% up to 5%, guys.
Yeah. I've been really harping on it lately.
Like, that's how we're going to change this mess. Make that 3%, 5% and start today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're not going to get everybody in November, but find 5 people who don't vote. Get them there in November and just keep trucking.
Yep. Yep. And he says Dade had low voter turnout as well. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to pounce. I've heard it both ways. I've heard, we've had more people involved in the primary than we had the last term. I get it. I get it. And I think that we're all making strides, right? But we have got to get people to turn out. I mean, especially November, which is going to be our main focus from here on out. You know,
it's coming fast.
But we've got to get people energized. And we've got to get them past all this stuff. And it's not a hold your nose against who you want to vote for anymore. It's hold your nose against Dominion and the state. Election integrity and vote, right? Because we know that we can overpower these algorithms. So said a Georgia Patriot again, Marjorie had more votes in just Cobb and Paulding than all four Democrat combined total.
Wow,
so
that's
much
insane. Oh, yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, good Lord. I mean, think about the redistricting debacle. We can go into that. But
and that's
Jesus.
the thing. It didn't help the Democrats any. I mean, it literally just flipped a few seats around to other districts. But, I mean, you look at Cobb County. We've got North Cobb. We've got Ackworth. Mm-hmm. Basically from, you know, where Paulding and Bartow meet all the way over to basically where Interstate 75 is with the Cabela's at. I'm from down there. I know that area better than I know Walker County, and that's probably the most conservative portion of Cobb County. So, I mean, we lucked out. I mean, we lost Powder Springs, but where we're at, man, we lucked out.
Well,
that's a gold mine right
the whole
there.
thing was a farce anyway. They were all screaming racism. It's all about racism, and that falls on deaf ears, all right? And so they try to redistrict these things because they want to throw a wrench in it and scream stuff like, oh, you're being racist. It never works.
No, it doesn't work. It didn't hurt. It actually helped us more than it helped them.
I know. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But Georgia Patriot says the Democrats' questions were straight Biden agenda. Yeah, we'll definitely have to look that up.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up.
So he says USA Today had the judges. Let's see. Let me see if we can pull that up real quick.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But while you're looking that up, he said that Georgia Patriot said Jeff Davis had, I think, 57% of the vote over 600,000, which I knew he'd win. I like Jeff, and I'm also glad that Andrew Pinson won in the Supreme Court because I was really sending stuff out about Pinson to people, getting them to vote for him.
Here we go. Let's see if I can pull this up here. I hope this is the one. We'll go ahead and pull this up real quick. Because I didn't get to do any homework today. I did it all last night. So 2024 Georgia election results. Who won in the state primary? So this is from USA Today. Georgia has emerged as a key battleground state. You think? Oh, yeah. The new districts included a few controversial changes. Oh God. I mean, it's just the same old crap.
Same old.
While incumbent candidates proved to have the most success on election, I agree with that. There were a few surprising upsets. Here were some of the most notable election results. Let's see. I might open that link, but let's see. Who won the key? Of course, they're going to focus on the Democrats. Republican Drew Ferguson is retiring, leaving the future of Georgia's 3rd congressional district in the air. 5 Republicans and 2 Democrats vied for the nomination. Mara Keller emerged from the Democrat, where Republican side will see a runoff between Mike Dugan, that's right, and Brian Jack, a Trump aide. So let's see here. Let's see if we can go.
Why can't they just have graph? I mean,
I don't know.
I have a journalism degree. I mean, I can read this stuff all day long, but I just want to see a graph and numbers.
Okay. Well, this is District 2, U.S. House, so this is from the Georgia Secretary of State, so let's see if we can scroll down here. Yeah, because that's the same site we were looking at, Roy. Right. This is all districts, though.
House Rep, District 10. I think it was District 3, right? U.S. Reps.
Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to look for the judges here, so...
Yeah, I think they're toward the bottom.
Yeah, let's see if we can keep scrolling down a little bit. State Senate. So this is more of a rundown of the whole thing. I wish I'd have had this last night.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay. How many districts are there, State Senate?
Yeah, there's a lot of state. There's 54 state Senate districts, people. And then there's another 100 and something.
We want to get to the judges.
There's 588 different sections, Roy.
For real?
Yeah, we're only at 100.
Oh my God. Okay. Hang on. That's going to be too much, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to be here till midnight.
So, anyway, we know Jeff Davis ran, so give us some more names, anybody that's out there.
Andrew Pinson won.
Andrew Pinson, that's the other one. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Jeff had over 57%, over 600,000 votes. That's very impressive, very impressive.
Yeah, that's good.
I've read a few things on him. I've read some of his past voting data. The Truth Seekers of Cherokee had some spotlights on their voting history and everything. So I've met him once. Hope to have him on the show. Georgia Patriot Cobb is my original home. It's starting to turn back from the dark side. So, hopefully, I mean, we need light at the end of all these tunnels.
Oh, yeah,
we
Cobb's
need
waking
people.
up.
I mean, Cobb's waking up, and you look at Donald Trump, who is appealing to minorities more than ever because everybody's waking up and realizing that we're just being sold a sham here. It's pretty crazy. So,
yeah.
It says Georgia Patriot says Walker County School Board got a nice wake up call Monday. They were definitely put on notice. So
yeah, that's
heard a little bit about it. I don't want to speculate at this point. So things are happening. People are watching, looking, all around the state. Man, a lot of good races that we're going through everywhere. So a lot of people I met. Josie Cruz. I heard that Josie Cruz didn't make it through. I think Josie's got a pretty strong message, and I know she's a fighter, so she's gonna keep up the good work.
I don't think she's finished. I mean,
no, not by any stretch of the word.
I had a couple people call me today, just like, "Hey Zach, we lost," and I asked him. I said, "Are you a better man than you were when you started?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Look, that's all that matters." I'm like, "You didn't win the election, but that sucks." And but I've told him. I said, you've made new friends. You've brought issues to people's plate. You've put new issues in people's eyes, things they haven't thought about before. And I said, don't lose those relationships.
Yes.
Keep talking about those issues and become an activist. That
Absolutely.
You've got a commissioner who's complacent and they're just there because they've got a lot of money to spend and nothing to do with it. If you can't build a relationship with that commissioner, keep bringing these in and hopefully try to change their mind. I'm just using this commissioner as an example. Still keep talking about these issues, and because it's like a virus. It goes to one, it'll go to one person, it'll go to 3 other people.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, we've sent shockwaves. Yeah, we've sent shockwaves through the political spectrum.
Yeah.
Where once you had to be approved by the parties and you had to be the next person in line, and the grassroots have just tore this thing up. We've opened it up for normal people like Melvin Moody to run, people like Mike Pons to run, to really get out there and get their voices heard. And of course, you're still fighting against a machine of an establishment system. You're fighting against people with a lot of money. We've seen it firsthand. I'm not going to throw any names or anybody on the bus, but we know that there's dark money, lots and lots of money being spent on people, propping them up to run.
Of course.
And it sticks out like a sore thumb. And by the way, if you're one of those people, you lose credibility. You lose credibility doing these things. When you could normally run a good, clean campaign on your ideas and what you really stand for, but taking that dark money, people can see it. But the grassroots, we've all over the state, we have sent shockwaves through the Georgia Dome, everywhere else, because we've got grassroots, normal people that we're putting up there and running against these people that's been in business.
Yeah, people ask me all the time. It's a beautiful thing. It's really beautiful. People ask me all the time, we're knocking these doors. We've knocked 13,000 doors, but my guy didn't win. And I ask people too. I'm like, we're fighting an uphill battle. You've got an incumbent that's been in there for 10 years. He's just, they're blowing smoke up your butt. They're saying we're looking into this and over an issue. It shouldn't take them 5 years to look over. It gets annoying after a while. But I tell people as well, like, what are you telling your fellow citizens, your constituents, when you're not? Yeah, you can knock 13,000 doors. Good, I'm glad I really like Courtney Kramer. Right. Anyway, but I'm asking people, I'm like, you're knocking doors, you're telling people direct voter contact's the strongest thing you can do, but second strongest thing you do after that is, what are you talking to these people about? What does the general public want to hear? And if you can get that relational approach, you could, start talking to the general public about the issues that affect how they live their life. They're going to be more likely to vote for your guy. And, one thing that I'm really wanting to do, especially going into 26, is start just educating other grassroots activists on, on the things that matter to the general public. And I mean, there's so many things to talk about, but you've got to find one or two big issues that are with the candidate that's the incumbent, or even if they're not an incumbent, the other candidate, and what they're doing or lack thereof, and talk about those things and capitalize on those issues and talk about it. So it just goes back down to direct voter contact, and second most important is messaging.
Yeah.
I mean,
to add to what he's saying, the fight is not over. Look at this graphic here. District Attorney, Atlanta Judicial District, Democrat. Fannie T. Willis got 86.99%, 77,000, almost 78,000 votes.
Yeah.
I mean, Fannie Willis is a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a judicial joke. I mean, she should be disbarred for what she's doing down in Atlanta with the Rico sideshow.
Yeah, I know.
But this is what you were fighting against. She was able to get, God, I mean, I don't even know who this Christian Y. Smith is on the Democrat. They got 11,000, but you had 78,000 people vote for Fannie Willis. I mean, that's insane to me.
Well,
that is
more
just
than
insane.
Walker County, man.
Oh yeah. So there you go. I mean, that's why you need to pay attention and vote in these primaries.
Pay attention, guys.
So,
if you don't know, ask questions.
Let's see here. I'm coming down. I'm trying to look around
Ours
here.
is Lookout Mountain Judicial, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gwinnett County there looks like Patsy Austin Gatson got it 53%.
There's Clay, which we know he
Clayton Fuller, 19,000 total, which that's good, but that's spanning over what 4 or 5 counties.
4 or 5 counties, yeah.
So district attorneys, let's see here. I'm just gonna keep scrolling a little bit because this is all right. Supreme Court, Michael P. Boggs, that was one that I was watching. He got 1,049,732 votes. Wow. Let's see here. Andrew Pinson. There's the judge, Supreme Court. Andrew Pinson won. He was a clear winner, 54%. Let's see here. What's the other ones here? Jeff Davis. There we go. Jeff Davis. Finally, 630,000 votes, so 57%. So. Yeah, that's good. It's glad to see Jeff Davis pull that out.
Was that Tabitha Ponder, because the previous Court of Appeals judge is retiring, and they, and I think they were trying to put Ponder up under the table, ride the current judge's coattail in.
Well, sure, they always have somebody.
I'm glad Jeff, I'm glad his, something triggered him and he got up and was like, let's do something about this.
Yeah, I know.
Scott
there was some
McAfee. I met McAfee last week, Roy. I don't know if I told you.
Yeah, you did.
Nice guy.
Yeah, so he pulled it out 83%.
Yeah,
so
he's good. I knew he would.
This is the kind of stuff we need to look at. So. I think we'll end that there. So there's a little overview of our surrounding areas, and these are the people that we need to get to know, and we need to be vocal with them, let them know that we're out here, and let them know that we're watching, because we can get some things done. We can get the law back into place like it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're the last of the free land in the world, but it's slowly going away.
Yes, thank you, Georgia Patriot. Great rundown. Thank you, sir. It says grassroots getting into the party is making a big difference. Yeah. Also, get involved with your county party. Yeah. I can't stress that enough. Of course, he said they weren't voting for Fannie; they were voting against Trump. Yes, I mean, of
true
course.
True that.
But yeah, I think that was a pretty good rundown. Yeah. We're over an hour now, so we'll probably wrap it up here. But Zach, I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me tonight. I do agree. Get involved. Set your sights on November. We've got a lot of stuff to go through before November. We've got to get behind, of course, Donald Trump. Yeah. And against the machine that is trying to kill this nation, okay,
guys, and find five people. Yeah, get them to vote. I mean, it's if they're not start with the people who are registered. Find out why they're not, and if for whatever reason they're not registered, get them registered. There's still plenty of time to register to vote between now and November 4th or 5th.
It's a lazy form of activism, man. Right. You don't even have to get involved like we get involved.
Don't get involved in your GOP. Just get out and vote. And, I mean, that's what we have. We have that right as Americans.
Yeah. And don't listen to anybody else. There's even Republicans months ago, like, oh, you guys talk about election integrity, y'all are just return people. No, you have to understand things that's going on. 6 months ago, people are hollering to stop talking about 2020 elections, and look where we're at now with these cases going on, with the Board of Elections going on. There's no doubt any longer.
Yeah.
We still can't even say it without, and we believe you me, we're going to have an election integrity episode. But there's no doubt any longer that Georgia was highly compromised. I mean, it's all the information out there, but you don't even have to get involved. All you got to do is just go vote, man. Go vote.
If you don't have a way, if you're in the area and you don't have a way to go vote, get in touch with Roy. Roy can get you in touch with me. I will personally take you. Come on.
There's no excuses. No excuses. It needs to be a top priority. Because you're already voting on a system that's designed to interfere with things. All right.
Yeah.
The laws are being broken to interfere. Okay. Your government right now is enacting ways to interfere with your citizens' right and duty to duly elect somebody.
Yes.
And thankful. I want to send a special shout out to all of the crazies out there who are fighting for election integrity, who have been going to the board meetings, who have been keeping up with this, who have been fighting tooth and nail against this system. Because without them, we would have never, ever, ever uncovered what we've uncovered.
Right.
A special, special shout out to all of those people that are working tirelessly to bring the darkness into the light.
Right.
It does not go unnoticed. Sharon said, I just got my grandson registered, his first time voting for Trump in 2024. That's wonderful, wonderful. And Andy, good to see you, sir. Thanks for the show tonight, Roy and Zach. I appreciate it.
Yes,
folks, we're gonna wrap it up here. We appreciate it. We're back on Wednesday night schedules again. So we do have some special stuff coming up. I will release whenever everything gets set up. We got a lot of good guests coming on, and some stuff that's not even going to be political. As always, if you can help the show grow, we've got some new equipment that I'm paying for. If you have the funds, you can always go to givesendgo.com/smalltownunderground to support me, support the work we're doing. I've got some content planned, a small documentary that we're going to be going, but it takes money to do it. If you know somebody that would support the show, they just send them the link, givesendgo.com/smalltownunderground. It helps me out greatly with, it's not profit stuff. It's just paying for things that I'm getting to make this show better and to bring better content. So, but I couldn't do it without all you supporting me. And I guess I'm going to let Zach have the last word, but before I do, and I want to say that everybody that ran in the primaries, because the way we're going to run this show is always the same. It's a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to some of the people that I tried to get on the show and we couldn't make it happen. But I have great respect for everybody who ran, who's taking that step and that exhaustion and that stress level to get skin in the game. And don't ever think that you're not making a difference. Don't ever think that you're not applying pressure where it needs to be. And to the incumbents and the people that have been in for a while, the ones that didn't get challenged, you must understand that all eyes, Tupac, all eyes on me, right?
Yeah.
All eyes are on you now. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You've got to stop, and you've got to bring back accountability and transparency. Okay?
Yeah.
The people are not going to accept it any longer. Okay? And you're going to either have to stop what you're doing and get some skin in the game and realize that the power lies within the people.
Yeah.
You can't just post something once every 6 months and ignore everybody else. Everybody is going to be watching and looking at what you're doing. That's what it's all about. And if you have a problem with that, you need to retire. You need to get out of the way and get somebody who's willing to stand up and say, here I am.
Yeah.
But I just want to send a special thank you to all those that are running and to those who are not going to make it in. Like I said, don't give up in the fight. Don't stop being involved. We need every person regardless. And we need people to help keep those people accountable and help steer them in the right directions.
Yeah.
All right. It's plain and simple.
Yeah. Yeah. To those of you who ran, whether you were elected to a seat, or you were elected to make it into the next election, or you didn't get elected to anything at all, guys. It takes a lot of grit, patience, and courage to do something like that. I mean, it's time away from your families. It takes time away from your hobbies, things that you want to do, and and it takes a special person to do that. Especially, it doesn't matter if I voted for you or not, or if I like you or not. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if blue or red. I mean, it takes a special kind of person to lay themselves aside to do that. So just thank you all so much, and and if you, even if you didn't, the outcome yesterday wasn't what you wanted. Don't get up, still be encouraged, because we're living at such a time as this. And, there's a place for everybody at the table.
Yeah.
Everybody's, it goes back into the Bible. The Apostle Paul talks about, gifts within the spiritual gifts within the church in 1 Corinthians, I believe. And while this isn't a church, the same ideal applies here. Everybody's got a different set of gifts, a different set of skills to bring to the table. And even if you didn't, last night wasn't what you wanted it to be, whether that be for yourself or the candidate that you have. Don't give up. There's a reason why you ran, and and hopefully you left this a better person than you were when you came. Friendships were forged.
Agreed.
People were made. People were, and hopefully you made your fellow neighbors and your friends in your area aware of issues that are going on right in their backyard. So, give yourselves a pat on the back, like, seriously.
Yeah.
Give yourselves a pat on the back, because, and just say well done, because all of you did a great job. And, and I've enjoyed personally getting to, break bread with some of you. I've enjoyed personally getting to, just get to know you, because, I mean, we're all here for hopefully we're all here for the same purpose. So,
look at DeSantis. I really like Ron DeSantis, but he made some really boneheaded moves.
Yeah.
And that was a nasty Trump and DeSantis back and forth. But guess what? Yeah. He endorsed Trump, and they're going to work together.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Let that be the example.
That's Jerry's final thought.
Yeah, and Lee Davis, he said, did Coffee, thank you, Lee, for commenting. He said, did Coffee and Bibb counties finally get their full counts posted? I don't know, but I will try to get back to you on that this evening and hopefully post them. So, thanks, guys. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for being here with us. I know you could be anywhere you want to be. And for the Wednesday night, those folks that have stayed with us. And I look forward to continuing relationships and moving forward to bring this country back to full sail. All right. So don't give up out there, and you guys have a wonderful evening, and good night.
Good night.